Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host, the White Collar Goon, the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics. And I would like to have a conversation with you. First and foremost, have you had a meal as of yet? Okay, good. You should probably work on that. You should probably make sure you get on that. I haven't eaten either. I haven't broken my fast, of course. But I'll wait until the afternoon. Right now, I just have a little bit of water, a little apple cider vinegar in there, a little bit of lime inside for the alkalinity. But I want to get into a story. I was going to tell you, I was telling this story before, but then we had some lovely ladies come. I believe I don't know if they were Jehovah's Witnesses, but they just rang the doorbell and they were asking, if you were to die today, are you 100% sure you would go to heaven? That is quite the question. But we won't get to that topic today, or right now. I actually want to talk to you about, guys, knowing who you are. I speak a lot about that. I harp on that. And the reason why I do is because the truth of the matter is figuring out who you are, knowing thyself is going to be a lifelong process, but it will, trust me. Well, you don't have to trust me. It will pay dividends, brother. It will pay exponential dividends once you are comfortable in your skin. You have embraced your individuality. You understand your path. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, my water bottle is leaking, but I don't know why it is. Why would it be leaking? And it's tight. I have the lid on tight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Guys, once you embrace your individuality and your, quirks, the nuances, the idiosyncrasies, like trust me. Like please don't trust me. It will pay dividends. I want you to trust yourself. It will pay dividends in ways that you can imagine because you're going to be in alignment. All right, you're going to be in alignment with your purpose, and knowing who you are, you will figure out your purpose, and it won't come overnight. Some people, when they're 5, 6, 7 years old, they knew they were going to be a firefighter. They knew they were going to be a police officer. They knew they were going to be an astronaut. They knew they were going to be a fighter pilot. They knew they were going to be an army general. They knew they were going to be a Navy colonel. They knew they were going to be a educator. They knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have that and you have manifested that and you are sure of yourself and you have that assurance and you've worked towards that, God bless. God bless. Because, if you would have asked me what I wanted to do when I was 7, and you would have asked me what I wanted to do when I was 12, and you asked me what I wanted to do when I was 17 and 21, they're all were different. And right now I'm like 30 and I still don't. Well, now I know that this is my life's work. Angels of Politics will be my life's work. But I mean, it took so long for me to come to that. Now with Angels in Politics, that's a philosophy. That's philanthropy. Okay, that's philanthropy. So that means I'll be giving for the rest of my life, and I'll be in servitude for the rest of my life. And I am not only excited about it, I'm keen. I am keen as fuck to be that servant, to give radically, to scale my compassion, to scale my altruism, to scale my appreciation, to scale my benevolence. I really am like so with the shit, it doesn't make sense, but like that's the reason why I'm so turned up, right? So guys, I'm gonna tell a story. There's a lot of guys who aren't gonna be in my who aren't going to have my life's goal or my life's aspirations or my life's work, right? Because it's mine. there's going to be a lot of people who want to do something else. There's going to be a lot of guys who said, deep down, what I really want, because life is about meaningful relationships and meaningful work, and synthesizing those or synchronizing those with your spiritual gifts, right? Your superpowers. That's what I call them. There's some people whose meaningful work is going to be something totally different. It's not going to be, public speaking or going to talk to kids or going to interface, well, at hostels and hospitals and hospices and the hospitality, like realm. That's my shit. But like for you guys, it could be something else. Everybody's not going to be going to the mountains and doing yoga. Everybody else is not going to be, putting their back against the wall and meditating for hours upon day. There's a lot of people who aren't going to be in the library reading voraciously and writing books and doing that type of shit like this. They're not going to be creating films. They're not going to be creating albums. They're not going to be doing these things. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm keen on. That's how I've aligned myself, because I've always been that type of person. And it's manifesting. Now it's manifesting through my travels and through my experiences. But I'll tell you a story. Boom. I was like, I noticed that I was having issues, as far as like the opposite sex. I was misaligned. All right, there was a misalignment with who I was, my personality archetype, and the opposite sex whenever I was going out, because I was seeing how my peers were receiving the feminine energy that I wanted. And for some reason, I'm the person who, well, not only did I want it, I was the person who was like keen on receiving this feminine energy. I'm the person who was like, yo, man, I'm the guy who was reading books and taking notes and writing stories and writing poetry and going to the gym and I had this personality that's so extroverted and it's so in your face, and so whatever the case may be. Some people might be like, it's a lot, okay? You're a lot. Imagine this personality type, and then I'm going to the club in the bright red Ferrari jacket. Imagine this personality archetype, and I am, a bottle and a bottle of wine deep with 4 or 5 beers already consumed after smoking 2 joints, with the bright jacket, with the gold earrings, and you know what I'm saying? Like I was so like. You're going to see me regardless of whether you know it or not. You're going to hear me. You're going to feel me. You're going to know me. And that was like this whole thing. That was, I don't know if it was the ego. Of course it was the ego. But like that was me not controlling my spiritual gifts. I was, according to what my homie says, and I love this metaphor, I was Cyclops without the visor, dude. I'm coming in, and I'm coming in too hot. Like, what was the fucking Fantastic Four guy? I don't know if he was just the flame guy, but he just turned into flames. Like, I was that guy who was coming in on fire, dude. I was on fire. I had the visor off. I'm shooting at whatever, like that was me. And I was not being well received by that. You know what I'm saying? It was too much. And there's guys who just aren't like that. There were some guys who have met me, and I've got this a lot, and this is the reason why I do, I have political counsel, I have political collections, I have political capital, political creative, I have political connections. I have the political circle that has all these subsets of businesses and entities underneath the political umbrella, because I am fortunate enough to have this wide spectrum of personality to do a lot of different things, and I can help people and be of service in a myriad of different ways, but the fact of the matter is, I've met guys who were telling me, saying, yo, Gabe, after meeting you or after hanging out with you and spending time with you, like I've had more attention from women than before, or women have responded to me in different ways than before, or I've had access to dates and to, meeting and establishing and cultivating relationships with women that I hadn't had before. And they would try to, like, I'm not saying they've given all that respect to me, but they've attributed some of their success to like, I guess, hanging out with me. And at first I took that as a compliment, but the truth of the matter is, those guys who were getting that respect from women, those guys who were cultivating and sustaining those relationships with women, those guys who were like going out to the bar and leaving out with women, it wasn't because of me. Not at all. Not at all, because that wasn't happening with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were to watch me, I was going home by myself every night at the bars. If they were to watch me, not only was I going home by myself every bar, I was getting blacked out drunk, and at the end of the night, I was a dude whose face was in the bushes being violently sick. So it's like, no, I wasn't the role model. I wasn't the archetypal role model or the archetypal hero. I was not, by any sense of the word, by any sense of the terms, so it really shows, like, guys, like, be you, like, be who you are, and figure it out, like, figure that out early, because the sooner that you accept who you are and continue to invest and develop your 5 areas of expression, your physical body, mental body, psychological body, spiritual body, emotional body, all you are doing is just enhancing and expanding your vessel. You're expanding your vessel to receive that energy that you put out. And I talk about putting out energy into the spiritual markets. I call them the angel markets. But the appreciation, the benevolence, the caring, the charisma, the creativity, the dedication, the due diligence, the working at it, the enthusiasm, the empathy, the fucking empathy, like, understanding and feeling, having that instinctual feeling to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and to listen to them, to understand where they come from. Guys, a lot of you all have that naturally. I have to work on that because of my personality archetype. Like, I have to work on being a listener and being empathetic and being sympathetic and being more of I guess, a nurturing kind of guy, or being more of an accommodating kind of guy. Like, that wasn't, and that still isn't, natural to me. Do you feel what I'm saying? So, like, there are some guys that say, man, I need to work on speaking to women. I need to work on being more vocal. I need to work on putting myself out there. Brother, that might be true, but only a little bit, because trust me, you don't want to have these problems here. You don't want to go here where I am with this extroverted nature, with this gregarious nature, with this loquacious nature, with you being my personality archetype which is a ENFP, is what they call it, but type A ENFP. Like, dude, trust me, like, these types of problems you don't want, because it is like a ball of fire. It is like a fucking it's like if you watch Dragon Ball Z, it's like when the Saiyan looks at the fucking moon, and I talk about a lot about the moon and wait for Loon Feminine to come, but it's like the Saiyan turns into the fucking great ape. It turns into a literal, like, raging ape that is banging down the fucking buildings, and he's uncontrollable, and he's knocking over shit, and he's tearing up the city, and it's not a good thing, dude. It's not a good thing. It's not something that you want. So, and I'm saying that being seriously, like, I mean, I was my own, like, to my own detriment. I had like a split down my fucking forehead, not because somebody fought me, not because somebody beat me up. It's because I was so out of my mind. I was so focused on, the weed man, and contacting the weed guy, and finding this girl, and wondering why this girl didn't come home with me, and having the bottle of plum wine in my bag, and I'm sipping it, and before I know it, I walk straight forward into a concrete pole that was a pole in the middle of the street, of the sidewalk, and split my whole shit open. And that was of my own volition. That wasn't because somebody pushed me. That wasn't because somebody, slipped something in my drink. That wasn't because somebody, plotted against me. That was my own undoing, brother. That was my own issues. Those were my dragons. Those were my demons that I had to reconcile with. Me coming home and watching porn every night. Me drinking copious amounts of bottles of wine. You know what I'm saying? Beers, like upon beers, getting blacked out every night. That was my demons, brother. Talking to women, like going with reckless abandon at the club, bouncing from girl to girl to girl to girl. When I mean bouncing, I mean just talking to them, seeing what was up with them. But at the end of the night, there was nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Why would a girl fuck with me when they see it? Like, brother, man, you're trying to holler at everybody here. You're trying to talk to everybody here. And none of these girls are fucking with you. Why? Because, like, you know, you might be saying nice things, you might be looking all right, but one, you're blindingly drunk right now, and you just, you know, try to kiss my best friend, and now you're kissing me. Like, you know, it's these types of things that were happening, and it wasn't a good thing. I was at this restaurant in Maryland with my homeboy. Like, my homeboy got married. Actually, he's my fraternity brother. Shout out to my boy. He got married not too long ago to a very beautiful, intelligent, industrious, super smart woman. Shout out to her and their family. Beautiful family. But we had a bachelor's weekend, and we're somewhere out there in Maryland, and we're at a restaurant. And he's there with his homeboys. These are his homeboys from Newport News. And, like, you know, I mentioned this before, guys. I will give you this because the girls won't give it to you. Guys, we're handsome. You're handsome, fellas. All of you are handsome. And be who you are, but cultivate yourself, because the girls won't give you that confirmation. Maybe your wife will, maybe your mom will, maybe your grandmother will, maybe your aunt will, maybe the ladies from church will, but like the women out here, they won't tell you that. Trust me, they won't validate that for you. They just won't do that, right? But these guys are chilling, you know. And there's this one dude who's just a quieter guy. Let's be honest. He's a chill kind of guy. Actually, the kind of guy that most girls like. And we're at this restaurant. We're at this brunch, and I look up, and she wasn't our waitress. She was somebody else's, and she was on the other side of the restaurant. But she was like, to me, proper fit. Like, all the women are attractive, but she will be my desired archetype. She had the like Korean and black look, or she was, you know, half Japanese, half black, something like this. But like, beautiful woman, but she had these features that, you know, stood out to me, and it would be the type of features that I will like. You know, I spent a few years in Asia, you know, and you know, maybe somebody might just say I like Oriental women. I like all women, but like, she would be my archetype, the desired archetype that I was looking for. And I remember, like, you know, when I was ordering food with our waitress, I was constantly kind of like looking over him, like, oh wow, she is pretty. Wow, she's really nice. But whenever finally when the lady comes over, and she doesn't come over because she wasn't our hostess, or she wasn't our waitress, but she comes over, and she clearly, and I mean clearly, could tell that I was looking at her. You can clearly tell that, I mean, my eyes were on her when I walked into the room, when I walked into the restaurant. She didn't say shit to me. I mean, she didn't mention me, or, you know, not to say she should have, but like, why would she? But she ends up like, my man's homie is sitting there, you know, having his food, eating his food, and he's a quiet guy, chill guy. And I remember my boy, you know, telling me, he's like, yo, back even in high school, he never was really the type to, like, you know, really be approaching women. Not even approach women, because my boy who's getting married, he wasn't the approach women kind of guy either. But he was like, yo, his boy even more so wasn't the type to really be like after the shorties like that. He's a handsome dude, high yellow, light skinned guy with the braids. So like, he could be pulling off his little Romeo vibe back in the day, or the Lil Fizz kind of vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? He definitely handsome guy, and I know a lot of girls found him respectful. I know it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could see it. I could see the way the girls were looking at him. So he's just chilling, like, not even phased, like not even looking around. He's not that kind of guy. Just eating his food. And the badass waitress, you know, the Korean and black waitress, or the Japanese and black waitress, whatever she was just beautiful. She comes by, and she says something to the dude, like, you know, like being coy. She says some type of like cheeky remark, like, oh, you're not going to eat all that food, or some shit like that. And, or something like, I had wings, and somebody else had wings or whatever, and he had like a salad or something like that, a salad, a jerk salad or something. And the lady says, oh, you're not gonna eat all of that, or blah blah blah. And my dude is sitting there and doesn't even look up at her. Doesn't respond. Doesn't, like it did, like, I don't even know if it registered, or if it did register. It just like no change of expression in his face. Just, and I'm sitting there looking like, and I ended up speaking for him like, no, he's just, I forgot what the fuck I said, and I shouldn't have spoke for him. But I ended up like, because I wanted to talk to her. Oh no, he's just, doing his thing or whatever. And like, I wanted to harp on this because this is the truth of the matter, guys. I was the guy, or I am the guy who was checking her out. I was the guy who was looking her up and down. I was the guy who was ready for her to come over so I could say something to her. And because of that was the very exact reason why she didn't look my way or speak to me. And she spoke to him. That she spoke to the guy who wasn't fazed by her. It's the polarity there, guys. It's the sexual polarity. She knows by a fact, but 100%, that I like what I like, and I liked her as soon as I walked in. Like, she could clearly see, okay, this guy's into me. Like, I can't even look up without this guy looking at me. But this dude here didn't pay attention to her, wasn't looking at her, was unfazed when she spoke to him, didn't raise his eye, like, just nothing, just like. And because of that issue, because of the fact that he was unfazed by this beautiful woman, is the reason why she spoke to him. Is the reason why she made that clever joke. Is the reason why she picked with him. It was almost like, yo, girls want the opposite. Girls react on opposites. It's the polarity. So if a guy is pushing, if a guy is assertive, if a guy is aggressive, the only thing left for that girl to do is to play the opposite. Oh, you're aggressive, then I'm passive. Oh, you're assertive, I'm gonna pull back. You're pushing, I'm gonna pull back. You're yin, I'm gonna be the yang. You feel what I'm saying? You're fire, I'm ice. You feel what I'm saying? The fact that homeboy was not even too cool for school, he just did not give a shit. Maybe he had a girlfriend, whatever that means. Maybe he just, like, that wasn't his type. But no, he was not the kind of guy. When we went out to the club, he wasn't looking for the girls. When he went out to the bar, like, he wasn't faced by the girls. But I'm telling you guys, listen to me. If that is you, if you're that kind of guy, trust me. Trust me, and you don't have to trust me. Girls will come to you. Women will come to you. Women prefer that. Women prefer guys like you, man. And I'm telling you, I witnessed this so many times. I witnessed this in China. I witnessed this in Thailand. I witnessed this in New York City. I've witnessed this in so many various environments. In college in DC. I'm like, yo, like Northern Virginia, like when guys are chilling, the girls will come. When guys aren't pushing for it, the women will come. When guys aren't, bending their head and bending their necks and checking women out and, being keen to speak to them and all that type of shit. Like, dude, that's a comforting, it provides, I guess it will provide a challenge for a woman, because it's like, oh man, all these guys are always trying to hit on me. This motherfucker didn't look at my way. This guy didn't look up at me. This guy is not even fazed by me. This guy ain't even saying anything to me. I'm speaking to this nigga and he ain't even say shit. So what do you think she's gonna do? She's gonna keep talking to you guys. She's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, he didn't want to win and he was the winner. Do you get what I'm saying? He didn't even want the attention, and I'm checking this girl out the whole time, and she's like literally like giving him that energy, like projecting her energy, opening her. Now, she didn't open her femininity to him, but she was giving him play, dude, giving him fucking rhythm, and that guy was chilling. And because of that, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because guys, I feel like that's a lot of you. That's a lot of you guys, man. A lot of you guys aren't really fazed by the women. I know you say you might be. I know you're listening to the rappers. Don't be like them, because most of them are lying. Don't be like the person that you're not. Like, be who you are, and as soon as you accept that, oh my gosh, it's coming your way. It's coming your way because I know it to be true. I know it to be true. Color Goon.